Today here we are with Mr. Neeraj Dhingrra. He is the Senior Director of JLL and Head of Mumbai Residential Services.
I am now at the position where I am heading the real estate business for Mumbai for JLL. I spent about 5 years in London, of which 4 years, 9 months and about 28 days I was on roll. Being active, being busy is one of the roles in your life, and it entices you to learn new things. Magicbiz.com, which is one of the biggest known entities today,
Right.
just got into the market. I got connected more than about 5,000 channel partners in a span of about 3 years.
As and when the real estate industry is growing, it supports hundreds of other industries.
The new VR systems, the websites, microsites that have been coming in. Right at a click of the button, you can see the entire property. Not just a visual, but physical, actual attributes of the property.
Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Speaking Real Estate podcast. Today here we are with Mr. Neeraj Dhingrra. He is the Senior Director of JLL and Head of Mumbai Residential Services. So, we are very excited to have you and very grateful that you are here today. I'm very excited about the insights that we are going to get about the Mumbai's residential market and about the topics that we have decided on to discuss today. So, here's an overview of the sessions and discussions that we are going to have today. First is the challenges and the opportunities of the residential market of Mumbai. Second, the residential market of the past 10 years of Mumbai versus the current scenario and versus the prediction for the next 10 years. Third, working of a mandate business and launching of a new project and micromanagement of a launch. And how do you manage brokers when there are thousands of brokers involved in the launch of a project? And last topic, the role of RERA and how it has transformed the industry. So without wasting any time, we'll dive into our session firstly by getting to know you.
Sure.
Where I would like to know your personal background from the point where you had entered the real estate industry to where you are today, your education and your hobbies.
Thank you, Krish. It's certainly a pleasure being a part of this activity. I'm sure it's going to lead good heights. We hope that we help entire industry by whatever best we can provide. Coming back to myself, yes, as you rightly said, I am now at the position where I'm heading the real estate business for Mumbai for JLL. It has been a good journey overall, an enticing, fantastic time where there has been ups and downs, and I've learned a lot of things. Started back, of course, about my education, started back way down, my graduation where I have completed from Mumbai. Post that, we went into two aspects where I decided what I should do next. So first initiative was I planned to go to US. It went well, started off well, but fortunately, unfortunately, when I landed up there, was never comfortable being there. You'll not believe I probably presented myself there for the university exams, got into the class, attended the class for 2 months, and then I have taken a step back saying that not to continue. That was one phase in life where I was pretty much on a question mark phase, how it will happen and when it will happen. But then God's grace, everything went well, and I ended up, doing my master's. Actually, where I wanted from was for London. Regent's College, a well-known university in central London. Webster University is one of the biggest universities in America. So it again went in the same flow that I wanted to have a US degree, but an exposure of the UK. It went in a same good combination, and I completed my graduation post in Mumbai and then ended up in UK, where my master's in business management I completed from Western. And then post that, I did another specialization from the London Business School, which was actually the turnaround period where we started talking about business, getting into business, and how industry works. So this was my education background, which I can sum up with. Coming to my core work experience, yes, I have been, I would not say a workaholic, but yes, pretty much keen in getting involved in whatever I do, whatever I like. So it's been a scenario right during my college days where early, I would say just post my schooling, I got into a few of the business activities where I started ground forcing. My parents have been really supportive on this, they always wanted me to be independent, and probably that's one of the reasons what I am today at. So my early school days, college days were my actual base for what I did. My actual core business started, or probably my work life started at London. Proudly can say the second day I landed at London, I was at work. So never felt such like, any work is small or big. Not to shy off and say my first job was a waiter's job. But again, it ended up very well. I gradually moved on about 3 months from there, the same role to a superstore role where I spent upon a year. And post that, I joined a company called Argos, which was later taken by Salisbury. So Argos was a multi-retail chain, and I was primarily a part of the North London store, which was one of the biggest UK store. And again, with God's grace, I got the opportunity to lead one of the verticals there. One of the few people who were studying and also working, and got this opportunity. I spent about 5 years in London, of which 4 years, 9 months, and about 28 days I was on roll. So that is one of my biggest strength, where I feel being active, being busy is one of the roles in your life, and it entices you to learn new things. So irrespective you have 20 years experience or you are just a fresher, if you have the right zeal, trust me, you will keep growing. So this is all about my education and about myself. Thanks, Chris.
So further, I would like to know about the day you joined or got associated with the real estate industry in Mumbai and where you are today.
Okay. So again, in way back, the early, I would say mid-20s, 2005 to 2009 odd, where is my education, I sum up. There is where my tangent entered into the real estate domain. You must be surely aware that that was a time that the entire globe faced a very superficial recession. And fortunately, I finished my studies that time and jumped into the pond. So here and where it was everything that ye hoga, nahi hoga, this is possible, this is not possible. So only one thing that again was taught, you have to enter somewhere. You have to have a start at somewhere in your life. Forget what you were. I was probably, the zonal head when I left my position at London. But again, for me, coming back to India and starting from a scratch was a way too far pondy. Yes, but I was very clear that my exposure in the international domain was for a specific period of the time. Whatever we can grow in our country, the way we follow, the culture we follow here plays a very aspirational role for me. And I understand this is where we stand as Indians. This is where we stand different. So in the early 20s, when I finished my education, came back to India, I had a lot of interviews, but again, pick and choose was never an option. And fortunately, I got an opportunity with the Times Group, wherein they are one of the verticals, magicbricks.com, which is one of the biggest known entities today,
Right.
just got into the market. I can now again proudly say today that I was among the founder team for the first 2 years where we entered into the market. It's again one of the biggest brand to be associated with. Nevertheless, fine. I was bound to be starting with a very minimalistic position, but again, my exposure in my international domain really helped me a lot, and it was a very fine line time. I'd spent about 6 years there, which was the core strength to enter into the market, because I got the opportunity to work at a ground level. That's where the change happens in the industry today. If you know where you have worked in the ground level at a foot stage and you move on to positions, you know the facts, what challenges comes. So my first interaction there was purely with the open market, that is the retail market. Magicbricks is known for the advertisement prospects, and I was the first initiative part for the channel partner domain, where they do their property listings on the portal, and space selling happens. They buy product for packages for their projects, and in them they get their client databases. So our main role was to touch base them, convince them to get on board with us, and of course make sure the relationship grows on. Nevertheless, I got connected more than about 5,000 channel partners in a span of about 3 years, and where we blossomed, the good business. Again, with my work skills and the support from the management, I kept getting promotions. I was then given the responsibility to manage the developer forte as well, wherein my actual business in the real estate stepped in. When you start working with promoters in Mumbai, it's a different facade. Trust my words. The IQ of developers in Mumbai is something that you think that works at a different level. I've met people across India, Pune, Bangalore, Kolkata, Jaipur, but Mumbai stands different. The way we run with the pace of life is superb. It's a day or night, the city keeps running. That's an actual factual word that you can keep comparing. We also developed one more vertical in my career aspect of Magicbricks. That was basically ancillary companies like banking institutions, non-real estate direct companies which start advertising with real estate companies. So that was one development where I got linked with brands like Anchor, Panasonic, switches companies, electric companies like Whirlpool, where they are related to end users, consumers. So first part of the sale was developers, channel partners who give connect to the industry, that is B2B, and the second sale was the B2C where it goes to an end user. So this was my stint with the Magic Bricks, where it gave me the base for entering into this domain. As you asked me how it started. So coming back, as I said, that it was my second stint of my life after Magic Bricks was with the company called India Homes. It was earlier known as Agni Properties. India Homes, it was again one of the biggest platforms that has set many industry standards today. If you are aware, Agni Properties, to be rightly said, India World Technologies Private Limited was the core name for the company, and the brand name was India Homes. Their core factor in the industry was to lay out processes, the mandate business structuring, and primary developer mapping. So at that point in time, within the range of 2012 to 14, there was no such companies in the industry. So we had at that point in time started using TEP, how it can be involved with ground level sales. Our managers used to carry, each manager used to carry tablets to go to a meeting, explain. That tablets were not only for customers, also to help them analyze what they can do during the day, what strategies that need to follow, because whenever they update, there was a back-end tech team who used to reply to them in terms of the daily fine-tunes. So if you understand 2012 to 2014, right, I'm talking about almost 10 years back, we started that platform using tech into the real estate domain. Again, my role there was, business development. I used to head business development for Mumbai, Pune, Nasik, Ahmedabad, kind of entire West. So my biggest role was to get, my portfolio with developers, get associated with them, and making sure that whatever business numbers needs to be achieved, either it's a project launch or a sustenance project or some challenges that we're facing, we cover them up. We were very successful in measure of the projects. And again, because it was a start, it was a new evaluation in the market where it came into the picture. Post that, I got an opportunity with one of being on the other side of the chair, was being on the developer side. And again, I'm really blessed to be with that company. It is known as Setia Infrastructure, primarily led by Mr. Basantraj Setia, who is the promoter of the company. I spent almost a stint of 10 years. It's not a small phase of life for anybody. And I can just use one word. In all aspects of business, I have learned a lot. I have given my best to that company, and in return, I've got the best. So I cannot say it was a job for me. It was moreover like a family. And I made sure that, yes, if I am a part of the family member, there is no say that going says without saying that anything that happens good for the home has to be done. So in Setia Infrastructure, it was a tenure that we started our project at Goregaon in 2014. A nice 3-acre layout where we had about 6 buildings that we initiated. A mixed bag combination of 1 and 2 BHKs. That was one of the first stint of Statia's biggest foothold into the market as well. And we successfully initially sold out about that building in the first quarter itself, because the building was not very huge in size. There were sized numbers in about 7-8 buildings, but technically about 8 to 10 floors what the structure was. So the building went sold out. We delivered the building in about 2 years' time, and the building was completed. Where we kicked off the journey to scale business. And we got about projects in Kandivali, Malad, Bandra, Vasai. There have been instances, I like to brief on this actually. Our project in Kandivali, we started in 2016. And it was again a very, very strong competition, because the same day we had 4 launches simultaneously in the same vicinity of the business. So, of course, any business avenue would have skepticism on what will happen. But fortunately, it went very well. What we penetrated that time was the actual ground reach that was required. So ground reach happens through various aspects, through our partners, through direct medium reach to the customers, through associates, through corporates, B2C activations that happens in societies. We did not actually miss any touch point there. Fortunately, we launched the project On the day of the launch, we sold about 130 units. That was almost around 60% of the stock. I was again very proudly saying that we had a queue of around 130 people to come inside to a project and initiate the process of booking. Nothing better to be proudly saying when you launch a product that you have almost 130 customers wanting to join hands and join the same family. And therein we started this legacy of prompt sales in the market. One of the developers in Western suburbs, which kindly formatted these processes. Again, we at that company always had aspirations to provide homes at a lower cost. So we were never in the photo of in the luxury segment, to be very honest, but not in the affordable segment as well. We always have the vision: give the right home in the right price, and the customer is yours. So we worked on various models. The same thing happened in Kandivali. The product was right, the price was right, and it went through. Post that, we had Bandra, again a flamboyant place where people want to live. Biggest hub of business, BKC, which is there. So that the product became a self-sufficient product, being because in the nearby vicinity there was nothing like that which was giving the lifestyle. Plus at a very, I would not say an affordable cost, but a very right sweet spot price. And the size which a 2+2 family requires is something that we essentially need to work at today. Times have changed, evaluated. In our ancestral parents, maybe forefather times, we used to have large houses where, you have large patio sets. But now in Bombay, space crunch is there. City is going vertically up. Then we had a launch at Malad. Again, one of the biggest launch in Mumbai, where we got in the introduction of fully finished homes. So I would sum it up in one line for the fully finished homes was: you get your clothes, you get your family, you get your utensils. Everything else is fitted in your house. So right from your furniture, your white goods, your wardrobes, bed, cushion, mattresses, curtains, everything pre-fitted. So for a common working man who spends probably almost 80% of his day for his either commutation or office time, doesn't have an opportunity to invest his time for making up his home. And one of that aspects is also ball backs on the fine line, that is the cost that is evaluated for it. So we decided, we worked on it, and we thought, why don't we help them in moving one step up, where we get this into pre-done up mode. So this again was a very good factor. It picked up very well in the market, and fortunately again we sold out 48 hours, 80% of our inventory, which was again the news of the town. This went on the phase with our brand, and we gradually scaled up to another couple of projects with a similar model in the western suburbs. Then, gradually the industry went on with a downward curve. We were very stagnantly doing sustenance business. I got an opportunity again to move on to the next phase of my life, and I started consulting various big organizations in terms of strategy, operations of the business. This was again one of my biggest learning in life, where I used to have a positioning like a promoter. When you make strategies during the time of execution, development, your IQ has to be not just profit in the business. You create brand name. How do you evaluate things? So this was a stint I spent 2 years around, and then I got handshaken with the brand called JLL, a well-known brand across the globe. With right multifaceted avenues, right from commercial, facility management, residential, research. You keep naming in residential services or property real estate services, we are present.
They're like having the whole blueprint of
Absolutely, absolutely. But again, it stands two-faceted sides. We are the strongest people in commercial, growing in facility, and we are developing the avenue of the residential arm. Tech is one of the biggest platform that we are developing in our brand here, and we aim to be again supporting both sides of the business. One side is either the developers, that is the B2B business, and the end users, which actually want somebody who can trust today. So this is all about my journey of my life, my education, and my career, what I am today at.
It was a beautiful journey, and it will be great to get your insights further onto our questions. So moving on to our first question, that is, what are the biggest opportunities of our residential market in Mumbai?
See, Mumbai as a market has always been the talk of the town across the globe. It is not just the financial, I would say, capital of the country. In all aspect of the business, whether you name it real estate, whether you name it clothing, where they name it share market. Mumbai has always been the talk of the town. Coming back to residential forte, I'm not sorry, residential real estate forte, the right word would be going as. Mumbai has developed very finely through various phases, various alternatives in their career. We are blessed to be in the era that right now we are at, where India is going to a growth sector, and in this growth sector, real estate business is growing at parallel structure. With the political segment and the movement of the business going in the right direction, real estate is going to be one of the biggest gain makers in the coming years. With regards to next opportunities in Mumbai, we've seen in the last couple of years that because there have been space constraints in the city, city has gone into various factors of going vertical. And one of the parameters in this which has supported is the redevelopment of the old structures building. So redevelopment is one of the biggest support functions, one of the biggest opportunities which I feel will be there in the coming times for the entire real estate sector. And coming to it, which will be supported by various aspects of retail business, the ancillary support functions like infrastructure developments like schools, hospitals. We need to also keep into factoration that infrastructure development has been planned, is going well. But structurally, the time it flows in, we will be able to analyze which will be the opportunities as various segments in Mumbai. And those segments will really develop well, give opportunities to investors, end users, not only to make money, but have a better lifestyle as well. So these are a few pointers like redevelopment, commercialization of various segments, which will help grow real estate business in Mumbai.
And since COVID, it has been observed like government is quite supportive when they also put in the 50% premium discounts, and then repeatedly introducing new schemes like the recent cluster scheme for the support of redevelopment is also promoting real estate over a large scale.
So as you rightly said, government also do considers real estate as one of the biggest arms to have support function to grow the infrastructure, to have the growth of the city and the country too. What I would want to say is, whatever schemes the government plugs in, it helps the country, it helps the city to boost that sector. As you said, the scheme that was brought out 2 years back, in that fiscal year, we saw a drastic change in the growth. Growth technically relates to the sales and the absorption. An end user feels comfort. That comfort is what we need to plug in. I'm sure the government is trying to make many more policies. Those opportunities will always come, will always be open to have the growth phase of the real estate domain. The opportunities other than these lies are the tech that is coming into the market.
100%.
Not just, when we say building making is one thing, cement, concrete is one part, say new things like, the VR, augmented reality.
As and when the real estate industry is growing, it supports hundreds of other industries. So everybody is indirectly getting more opportunities and more ways to get associated with the real estate industry.
So when I say new technology, now we talk about IT sector getting into the real estate.
Right.
So just imagine the IT sector, which is one of, again, the strongest backbone of the country, clubbing in with our real estate domain, how enhanced our domain can be. Simple few examples, last 10 years odd, what have we seen change in the CRM systems of various companies, the new VR systems, the websites, microsites that have been coming in. Right at a click of the button, you can see the entire property. Not just a visual or physical actual attributes of the property. There have been instances where people have, at a click, you have seen the pool and you are inside the pool as well. So this is what we see developing and coming up as an opportunity in the coming times, where the actual realization of going out of the home, being to the actual site, will also be playing a big role.
We will move on to the next part, which is the challenges that the residential market faces.
Challenges, first and foremost, as we're growing very fast, we need to work a lot of the infrastructure development that is there. Though our city, Mumbai, has been running at a very fast pace with, the coastal road coming in, the metro line coming in. But during the pace of this development, there have been a lot of instances where there have been becoming as a hindrance. I would not say as an hindrance, but yes, some obstacles due to the development of that infrastructure. This need to be timely matched with the other developments that we are planning. So infrastructure growth does not mean the development. where and where it is required is also one of the biggest forte. In western suburbs, we've seen, in the last 2 years, about more than 400 plus new projects being launched. We also need to see that for that 400 projects, are there good wide enough roads? Are there good subordinate systems for the drainages? Are there good, infrastructure for their water supplies? Though our city has never faced those constraints, but if we keep going vertically up, we need to also keep working on this. I would never say that city has never looked into that, or probably our, departments are never into it. Yes, it needs to match the pace that we are running at.
Right.
See, developers today in market are aspiring the city to be growing very fast. Same pace we have to handle with the the department's infrastructure, and make sure that wherever we are developing, it falls back in the right stage.
Definitely. So we'll move on to the next section, which is discussing about the residential market in the past 10 years versus the current scenario of the residential market, and what we can predict for the next 10 years of the residential market. So the first question on this topic is like, what is the biggest change you have witnessed from the residential market that was 10 years ago
Okay.
to till date?
See, the residential market last 10 years ago, has been a mixed bag usage. One biggest thing that we have evaluated in the last 10 years is affordable marking being developed on a larger place. 10 years before, there were segments of the homes where were typically sized at a certain stage. With the new initiative by the Indian government that is set as housing for all, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has been an aspiration for the developers as well, getting that shift in the 10 years. So when we say that getting the shift, we are flowing the end users to be having their own houses by making either the right size, the right price. This is one transition phase where people will start becoming independent. So if you see earlier, the housing size, even a 1 BHK was ranged between the size of 400 to 500 square feet. But during this transition, that has changed to 350 to 400 square feet. So I would not say the sizes have shrunk. That is the need of the hour that has been created, what has been the base. So this is one transition that I feel has largely been faced in the last 10 years. Not only just that, Mumbai has developed, grown. So price is one of the factors that has played a crucial role. There have been several places where you've seen price skyrocketed, maybe even, I would not use the word doubled up, but predictably defining that if a product was 1x, it is now costing about 3x to put a pin there and say, yes, I want to buy something there. So again, price factor has been a good decent growth in Mumbai. Investors have, availed good opportunities. The city has grown in multifaceted, not just in residential, commercial, retail, multiplexes. Everything has a different avenue, and the business has grown well. So I feel this has been the last 10 years which has got today. Coming down to the point of next 10 years, yes, we see the country going towards the growth stage. So real estate will always be a fancied product. When we say fancied, yes, it will be a need of the hour. Every youth that is now working is getting a good handsome salary and deserves or desires both to have his own home. So our residential domain will always have a good segment to have aspirational buyers coming into. All we need to just plug in the right supply at the right time, and developers need to make sure that their commitments get fulfilled, because one of the pain points that has been there into the industry is timely deliveries. That relates to various factors, not just the developers, our policies, various government taxation aspects that come into place. So when this is clubbed all together, we need to join the handholds and make sure that deliveries are done on time, so the end user feels that confidence in the brand, in the product, and finally to have a real estate domain.
For the prediction, we can see that demand is always going to go up, and up. So what I also got a recent mentality of a person, be it any person, be it us, be it any person from a lower middle class family or a poor person, everybody has a mindset that आज अगर वो 2 BHK में तो कल उसको 3 BHK में, जो 5 BHK में उसको बंगलो चाहिए, जो बंगलो चाहिए उसको विला चाहिए. तो कोई भी satisfied उसके घर पे होता नहीं है, भले ही like not immediately, but everybody wishes for a bigger home every day, being at any stage of his life. So apart from that, you can talk about the taxation part, the opportunity or a challenge.
So again, as you said, everybody aspires to grow one level up. So I don't define any poor or rich. I would say Bombay mein nobody can be a poor person.
Right.
Because you can survive only where you can achieve that benchmark. So when you are achieving that benchmark, yes, you have an aspiration or an opportunity to grow to the next level. Growing to the next level, you keep enhancing various skills of your lifestyle. Your lifestyles can not just be real estate. It's the automobile industry. It's your gadget industry. It's your luxury lifestyle, luxury clothing. So various aspects of domains that you can develop at. When I talk about our forte, our industry, real estate, we feel a bit pinch on what we are there today. The total forte, in the industry stands on lot of our leverage that we are putting down to the taxation. As on today, the customer is burdened with a heavy cost of the taxation that he's paying towards purchasing a property. That includes your GST, that includes your stamp duty, your registration costs, and various other small parameters that come into the count when he, actually materializes of a buy of the property. We should, in future times, take this as an opportunity, and the government should put in the plug-in points where how this can be clubbed along with various other aspects, and the burden can be lightened. This will help the industry aspects to grow better, and the absorption for the products which are lying unused or unsold in various segments can be better. We saw this when the government reduced the stamp duty for a short period of time in about 2 years back. The sales were almost about 100% up. This was nowhere thought over, but again it reacted as a somewhere comfort zone for the end user. I'm sure these opportunities will come in the future. Our government is aspiring and again supporting at various angles, and we as from the developer side, professional side, from the real estate sector, will make sure that we enhance the end user in the right manner so that they can encash this opportunity.
Definitely. We'll move on to the other section, which is the ways of the working of a mandate business and launching of projects. So, like for our viewers, can you explain in a very layman language what is a mandate business model?
So one fine line I will start with, what is mandate? Purani bhasha mein soul selling. So soul selling earlier was a man who used to go to a developer, say that, sir, मैं आपका पूरा product संभाल लूँगा and my professional fees is this. Now the times have changed. There are corporate organizations, there are setups, there are even individual setups which have a good number of team members which go hand in hand with the developers and run their sales and operation shows. So this does not just help the sales side of the story, but also helps the developer. Two aspects: giving a fast movement to his cash flows, to his sales avenues, and putting the right product presentation into the market. So this is the initial part of the mandate. Again, mandate has various roles that a developer and the mandate partner can be playing at. It is not just the manpower. Mandate partner can play a role in right from strategizing during the time of execution of the property. So execution, when I say, is time of planning. That is one of the niche arms that I would say as a partner or a mandate source person, a person role plays at. Any developer who designs his property aims to encash his property at the earliest. So one fine line that comes is the product that has to be made is the right product. Price comes at a secondary stage. If the product is not made in the right manner, again it becomes a burden. So the partner who is doing physical sales across the industry will have the right overview. He will have the right understanding of what is the need of the hour or probably the need of the location.
Right.
Because there are certain segments in Mumbai where the location demands larger size of properties, and certain locations where it is good to go with small decent sizes as well. Wherein larger size may work well but will be a challenge as well. So right combination at the right stage will help in the mandate. Secondly, mandate partners also do help in understanding the various structuring of marketing.
Right.
So marketing is again one big flamboyance in the industry, how the product is presented. There are various mediums, your ATL model, your BTL model, you use hoardings, your newspaper advertisements. One of the biggest fancy that we are blessed with is a digital domain now. Again, the talk of the town. Why is it the talk of the town? Every member has an access to a good mobile handset which is equipped with a nice Android or an Apple device, has access to the internet domain and easily accessible to the platforms like Google, MSN, which helps understanding what is happening in this industry. Terminologies which are there in the industry are explained well. So probably as we are talking at a platform where we both come from an experienced real estate background, digital domain helps an end user understand what the market is.
Definitely.
For an end user to understand what carpet area is, probably it is difficult for a table conversation to make him brief. But this one quick, search online will help him at least have a brief on what he wants to understand. So this has helped good going education for the B2C platform. And I'm sure in the long going term, it will not just be an education platform. It will start becoming a conversion platform, which we are seeing evaluating. So there are a lot of instances where we sell or we promote products, developer promote products to NRI customers.
Right.
How does it happen?
Digitally.
Every time it is not possible to travel to, Europe, US, the Gulf. Digital plays a very big role. COVID, we realized how that span of COVID never let the business go down. How did it happen? The digital evaluated. So this is now we understand digital is going to play a very big role in the future, as in where the digital partners, mandate partners who specialize in this domain will understand how the industry works, the key small skill sets in what needs to be promoted, how it needs to be promoted, who it needs to be promoted, will be the biggest avenue of support in the mandate business.
There are various benefits we can see that is associated with the mandate business, but where I see is that there are many challenges also associated with the mandate business. Coming to a developer's point of view, the whole dependency of the developer's sales sometimes is dependent on the mandate company. And listening to certain experiences of certain people, sometimes they are not able to achieve those
Very rightly
targets
said.
and the required numbers. So what could be another alternative that you would suggest, or what can be some previous or pre-qualified things that could be pre-research done to avoid these things?
See, Krish, as I rightly mentioned, your platform Speaking Real Estate is the right base for it. It clearly defines speaking real estate. Same aspect happens in mandate. When you talk about mandate, is that's not the sales.
Right.
There are few checkpoints that you need. We just spoke about what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, when it needs to be done also plays a very big role. So every industry has good face and a bad face as well. Bad face, when I say, there could be some hindrances that creates a bad face. So a mandate partner and a developer, when they join hands, they have to not just consider the sales aspect. We need to overall turn the product by an end-to-end key solution. A developer starting his aspect of acquiring, planning, the mandate partner stepping into putting out into the market, the developer again stepping in doing the right timely construction and the delivering. When all these factors go hand in hand, this is when the entire cycle completes. When you said we've seen the some damage points in the industry where things have failed, these are 5-6 points where you miss out one point and the chain gets broken.
Right.
So it's either at the planning stage you miss out, either the wrong marketing happens. If everything happens well, then unfortunately to right positioning, the construction does not go at the right pace. This again damages the entire portfolio. So 5-6 parameters when I say right planning, acquisition starts at the first stage, so that is right location. Planning starts at the second stage. Third is your marketing. Fourth is your right stage. Then is the right timely execution, right timely construction, and the right quality with the right delivery.
Right.
When these 5-6 things go together, I hardly feel you will have minimalistic percentages being, going into that failure segment.
Definitely. So we'll move on to then the launching of a project. I'm very interested. How does a launch happen? Like before a launch, let's say you have to send 100 flats or whatever required number. You have to attract certain number of customers. You have to acquire certain number of prospects, leads, a required number of leads based on the conversion rate which we normally achieve. So how do we initiate the whole process of a launch?
So now we are actually talking business leads. So yes, when we talk about typical hardcore sales, it's a pure number game.
Can we take an example? Ki it's like for an example 100 flats, and so based on that we can decide ki itni leads chahiye hai.
I would not rightly put up a defined number to it.
Range.
Yes, proportionally, there are set platforms where you set X number of people to be working in. So I'll start with something like goes as at a launch. What is the first thing that you do? First thing is you go to the right set of people who help you support that product selling into the market. And those partners are our associates, our channel partners who are there into the market now. You heard of a lot of channel partner meets that happen in the market.
CP meet.
What is channel partner meets? A channel partner meet is a brief introduction to our associate partners that a developer gives right from the scratch. What is the product? What is he going to make? What amenity is good with that? What will be his key selling points to his customers? And finally, the price that he reveals for that product. Indirectly, in the olden times, this was training in one-on-one level. Now in the channel partner meets, this training is given to mass scales. Training is again not the right aspect. It's a brief introduction. And then you have avenues where companies come into picture, where they start evaluating the product, start working on that. aspect where they start calling their clients through various mediums. They use help of the telecallers. They use digital domains. They use digital platforms like property portals where they start generating leads. So again, when I said started from channel partners, appropriately, every segment has various associations there. They will have channel partners as a group where they work for a specific location. In the western suburbs, you might have Kandivali, Borivali, Andheri, Bandra. There are a set of people who work as an association for typical that micro market. The developer would need to approach them, get associated with them. They in turn start working for the project. And this is how the reach starts to the end user, that is our customers. This is the first phase of the market, going to the market aspect. The second jump would be your ad parallel market during the launch. That is your digital marketing, your outdoor marketing that sums up your hoardings, your polls, your newspaper ads, and various other mediums. This is your end-to-end customers. So when you do this together, you create a hype, a buzz in the market. The buzz is indirectly not just being briefed. It creates induction in people who are aspiring to buy property. Right. Giving an example, Borivali, Kandivali or Bandra, where you have properties aged from 25, 30 years. Families have grown, the next generation have come in. So the family now intends to buy or move to a larger house. In families, you keep talking. You need to buy a new house, naya ghar lena hai. But you never have a spark here, something new is coming up to the market. When these all sum up together, your channel partner activation, your marketing module, you create a buzz that induces the entire end user market to come out. So this is where these people come out and start interacting at the developer's table. There is where our role stands into the market, where we portray strong. The product presentation comes into the praise, where the customer then evaluates, yes, this is the right product where I was looking to upgrade. Maybe a 1 BHK which I am living, and my requirement of a 2 BHK or a 2 to 3 or a 3 to 4 as and when his need goes. So this is one phase where the launch is entirely set up. This normally happens within a span of 30 days. So when we say the launch day to a pre-prep day, it's a cycle of 30 days where you do the CP meet, you do your ground marketing, your lead generation, which you are through your various mediums, and then you come to a D-day, which is your launch day. You said the count of leads, market has various different aspects. Somewhere out of 10 walk-in clients, you'll have 5 buyers who are actually interested. Somewhere you will, out of 10, you'll have just 2 buyers. So again, micro market plays a very big role. Minimalistic, affordable properties will have a larger turnaround ratios or a better conversion aspects. Larger premium properties has its own fancies and niche. So these will play a role where, the person would want something specific which is there in his mind. A 4 BHK customer wanted 2,000 square feet, a nice lavish 200, 300 square feet bedroom. This is where the percentage of the conversion will always keep varying aspect-wise. Then we'll move on to a micro-management of a launch. So, अभी अपन 100 brokers वगैरह एक CP meet में तो आ ही जाते हैं और फिर launch भी होता है. We calculate कि there are hundreds of people going to come up and look up at our product, talk about our product. But to reach that on the D-day, on the event of the day, there are various small things that have to be taken care of. What are the small things that you think are very important for that launch? See, my life's experience has been multifaceted.
Right.
I've been from the corporate side in the digital domain to a channel association side to a developer, and now my again forte to a corporate again, which I'm managing the channel side, that is B2C and B2B both. So this multifaceted side has two again aspects. When you say what all micromanagement required, it's right from managing your best of facilities at your venue to your best of requirements to an end user. It normally flows out to a part where the customers walks into your site. That is your first impression. So I feel that has to be the best of the comfort needs to be given at the first stage, because if the customer comes in with a partner or through an associate or through a reference or from a friends and family, he has to be treated to the best. So his first aspiration would be there to have comfort to understand not just the product, to see the property in the right manner. The right facilitation with the right manpower mapping has to be there. This is the first bandwidth. Second thing is, you need to make sure all your aesthetics in your launch period is rightly decked up, right from your basics, hygienes like your washrooms, your air conditionings, because these are the need of the hour. This does not imply related to your business, but imply relates to a brand. So you might be seeing launches happening where you see nice flamboyance and the person steps on and say, wow, maja aaya. And there are very, very instances where you people coming out seeing sweating, the chef's rain. So these are differences where your launch varies. Does not impact how the person feels, but it gives you an experience which turns out to a sale. Anything that you want to convert has to have that comfort, whether it's a product, whether the price or the salesperson doing. Till the time he gives you that comfort, you will not open up. Opening up is your first window towards the sale.
Definitely. We'll move on to the next section, which is the broker management.
Right.
So, how do you build and maintain a relationship with so many brokers? So, like, let's say we talked about like earlier, there are many micro associations in each definite area, let's say of Malad, Borivali, कोई association है. तो maybe कैसे होता है? मतलब there is like committee of that association, you deal with them and they automatically deal with the whole area of brokers, or what is the manner in which they manage the whole?
See, firstly, I start with the word trust is the first biggest factor that you need to creep in every business. So channel partner domain is a very large faceted domain. Yes, you rightly said they have their own association, they have their own managing committees, but these are managing their committees that keep changing over a period of time. And your face is what you build in the market. So as a developer has his own brand goodwill, every channel partner has his own brand goodwill. So keeping both things linked, your association with the channel partner has not just to be with the product. It is again faceted in terms of his business relations, his support that is given, his timely payouts that is given. So broker management is one skill that is one part is rightly mapping the brokers, that is quantumizing. Second is managing them with the right support. And third is keeping the relation with giving them the desired support. So desired support on the broker domain is moreover end user conversion and timely payouts. If three things are managed in these three portfolios of broker management, you will have the best of the support from the broker division.
What are like the key challenges and managing a team of brokers? And we can also talk about the conflicts that normally happen, because I've listened a lot that two brokers came in and tagged the same client and there is a huge...
See, again, these are pros and cons of all the domains, and some boons and curses is all will carry. Because we are moving towards digitization, that is evaluating our own globe, there will be a lot of conflicts that come into page. But on the duration of the conflicts, we'll always find solution coming in as well. Yes, as you rightly said, there will be several instances where in case I am looking for a property, I spoke to a person, I spoke to a B person and C person. And on the fine day, when I land up there, they both come up and say that you spoke to me. So there have been processes that have been set by various developers, which indirectly helps and cleans fine lines that even if you've spoken to 10 people, how would the tagging be done? Tagging is one part of the industry, but I feel not just the tagging plays role, because for an end customer, just broker's part is not a communication to introduce to a developer. Broker plays his own role. He has to support the customer in the right manner by giving him the right information, by supporting him in documentation wherever he needs assistance during the time of registrations. Laterly, when the booking is done, his payments, his receipts, that is where the broker roles will come into picture. And I'm sure where the evaluation has come into the times in the last years where RERA has come into the picture, broker domain has filtered a lot. You will see a lot of qualified organizations, qualified people coming into this domain. And seriously, the broker domain, or probably the right word, channel partner domain, associate domain, in the future is going to have a larger handholding with the partners.
So one more point on the broker management is I would like to discuss is about the technology getting involved in the management of the brokers recently. There have been various platforms getting offered by various firms on the technology to broadcast or like particularly make particular domains for each broker. So we can get an insight about that, how...
See, ideally, this is now happened in probably large players who are having at least 25 plus project actively doing. Because again, everything that you do at a larger picture and specifically technology comes at a cost.
Right.
At a micro level, still it is work in progress. But at a mid-macro level, this has started to be implemented where domains of the channel partner associate have been created, where you have a unique ID code that has been offered to you. Indirectly, that ID code is linked to a client, which includes a process that if you have in there associated with the client and your ID code is linked, it will be futurely tagged in. So going down the time, there will be launches where the customer doesn't even need to, probably inform that he's with the broker, because the time he fills in these documents, like his introduction form and his client, the channel partner's ID coming to the picture, he's clearly well mapped to that associate partner of ours.
So we'll move on to the next part, which is your team training approach and the learning and growing, and how do you upgrade your team? Because with times the competition is also increasing, and every day there are new techniques, new strategies, new gameplay approaches are coming up. So how do you keep up with them and similarly teach your team?
So again, team plays a very big role in the industry. Any colmograte industrialist, any corner side shop, or probably a corporate cannot grow without a team. You need to have a right structure, strength people which have their own skill sets, making sure the skill set is going in the right direction towards right ethnicity and the aim of the group. So team training skills plays a very important role, specifically in our real estate domain. Few factors again coming in, because real estate domain is linked to aspects of business where your technical terms are involved. In the last few times, probably in the last few years, times have evaluated how we define areas. In the previous decades, it was used to be known as super build-up area. Then it is now came to carpet area. Then it was usable carpet area, and now it's RERA carpet area. So when you till the time understand these technical terms, it is very difficult to grow evaluation in the company. So skill set, technical skill sets training is very important to any organization, which should be given ideally in very much short periodic times. There have been a lot of institutes that have come in which have started training programs for the institution in real estate as well. This is not just related sales skills training programs, but not helping in the technical aspect. Also, how we can bond well with the customers, bond well in-house within the teams. See, when we have a larger teams of 200, 300 people, it is very important to handle inside the team as well. When that inside the whole handle is there, now your half of the fine line happens between the members. This is one of the things that helps the organization go at a faster pace, in which I personally feel at least at every month we should have the team bonding sessions where it is not just your sales numbers, your training skills. It gives a strong bond between the team. We say, yeah, I am standing for you. Don't worry if things are going in a different direction.
So the last part, which is the role of RERA in the real estate industry and how it has transformed our industry. Mainly, we would like to get an insight how it has transformed the sales and streamlining the process of the buyers and sellers in the industry.
Yes, RERA. RERA is our future. It will strongly evaluate our real estate domain, and we can proudly say that we are in an avenue where the RERA will support us get this industry to the next level. It is a state of the time where we are putting in the processes, the structures, which are now coming into the place. RERA, when it came into the picture for developers, where it has mentioned that each project would need to be registered with RERA, a lot of disclosures came into the market. See, this was one clear fine line for an end customer, which helped him making decisions. Now, as time are increasing, we are evaluating. RERA is now stepping on, the next level, where his engagement is becoming with channel partners as well, where every channel partner has to register. The new engagement is he has to be pre-examined. Pre-examined is moreover, the RERA wants any associate partner to have equipped with the right knowledge, right information. So there is a set of small, course which is laid out by RERA, which needs to be clearly understood, be it qualified, and then the person has to appear for a factual examination. If he clears an examination, then he is eligible to be an actual channel partner, a registered channel partner. As per the law, any person who is unregistered with RERA cannot do transactions.
Right.
So in the forthcoming times, we foresee RERA playing a very big role, not just for the developers, not just for the channel partners. It will be a very big role for the customer as well, because it indirectly helps various parameters from the developer side as well. There have been instances where customers, unfortunately, due to not any reason, are not paying the dues. So it is not levied only on one side to the developers, either in terms of any penalties or to the channel partners where they are not committing. It is also to the customers. So it is a hand-in-hand process where the entire industry is growing. And step by step, we see RERA is assuring supply to our all our aspects in the pure and a transparent manner. So when I say supply, everything is becoming black and white on paper, whether it is your values of the project, your partners in the project, your disclosures in the project, any litigation in the project. This will help us increase the bandwidth of the industry, and also, we need to shrink down all the litigities that has been coming in. So this is one small nutshell that I will put as RERA is there for us, is going to stay for us, and will be the future of real estate.
Definitely. So the last part of today's podcast is the rapid fire session.
Okay.
So you just have to select out of the two options that I give you. So what might be more fun for you, selling a commercial property or a residential property?
Considering my experience, my word would go on a residential property.
Okay. The next best locality you would love to sell, like Borivali, Juhu, Andheri?
Bombay.
Bombay.
See, again, micro markets play a very different role. But as I have been based in Bombay, Bombay is a lovely place to do business. You have always different avenues that you can, connect. And again, different people whom you meet. So right from your working class to a big business class to an entrepreneur. That's why I said the word Bombay, because it is segmented into various sections.
The last is selling high-end properties or affordable properties?
Both play a very different role. High-end properties are always something that you'll aspire to do, and affordable always stands as your bread and butter.
So you would prefer?
Both. You need to flow with the market times.
Definitely. So it was a great session, having a great insights
Thank you,
from
Krish.
launching a project to executing, providing the perfect services to the customer,
Right.
ensuring quality and qualified sales to the developer. It is the backbone of the industry, and it is one of the most important tasks. I would say it obviously works in hand with
Right.
other operations of the project as well. So we will conclude this session
Thank you
with
very
a
much,
huge
Krish.
vote of thanks for you
My
coming up
pleasure.
here, sharing up your insights and contributing this knowledge to the industry as well.
It's certainly indeed a pleasure. And I can just put one word for you as well. You're doing a great job. This is going to help all people, businesses, and of course, end users who, follow you, so that they can keep getting updates timely basis. Whatever new is coming to the market, keep rocking the way you are.
Definitely.
Thank
Hoping
you
to
very
see
much.
you again.
Thank you very much. I will certainly. Thanks a lot.
Yes. Thank you.